So guys, it's been almost 3 weeks since I haven't uploaded a video. I don't know why, I just haven't gotten around to it. So I decided to do it today because, you know, 3 weeks will turn into 3 months real quick. Yeah, knowing me and my procrastination. Guys, before we start, I just realized that I had setting powder under my eyes the entire time. That's what I get for trying to look cute and not put on my glasses. Just bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. Ignore the powder under my eye, okay? I'm finally going to do another story time. I was thinking like so deep about this because I'm like, what stories can I share publicly that's not too much in my business? Like, I'll trust you guys, but you know, I need to be on guard. Like, I don't want everybody too deep in my business. So I had to think about it. And this one, I don't mind sharing, right? So this is about how I work/volunteered at a funeral home. I believe I was 16 or 15, somewhere along there. So as I explained before, I'm really not good at telling stories. I'll labber, come off topic. I'm not good at it, but I'm gonna try. So let's rewind and go back into childhood days. So growing up, I always loved Criminal Minds, CSI Miami, anything crime related. That would be me. And the funny thing is, like, I get scared so easily. Like anything regarding like ghosts, anything like that, I'm like, I'm terrified. I actually, do I have to confess this? I slept with a nightlight till I was like, I believe 16. So I slept with a nightlight till I was 16. I'm always scared. Like, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a ghost. Like, I'm never scared of people. I'm scared of things I can't see. I'm like, oh, you know, they're gonna come and get me. Like, I don't know. Have you guys seen a ghost before? I actually thought I did. I actually believe in ghosts. So yeah, so me, I'm just terrified. Like paranormal activity, anything like that, those spiritual things, you're not gonna catch me watch it. So for me, being interested in that field is odd because I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to things like this. Absolutely. So now going into high school, so my whole plan, I'm like, yeah, I want to become a coroner. So a coroner is basically a medical examiner. So you basically do autopsies and figure out like what the cause of death was, especially like crime scene related, like crime related, right? Doctors for the dead people. Yeah, that's what I really wanted to do. So I was planning my whole life. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to go to med school because you have to be a doctor first. I wasn't excited about that part, but I really wanted to be a coroner. So I would watch like autopsy videos on YouTube for fun. Can you imagine a teenager? You should be outside playing. You know what I was doing? Locked up in my room watching autopsy videos. I'm weird. Yeah, I used to do that. So I was like so fixed on becoming a coroner. And then I decided to try and see if I could volunteer at a funeral home. And you know who suggested this? Like my aunt. She always like encouraged me to volunteer. So shout out to her. Guys, volunteering is so important. Like, how are you gonna know that an area that you think you're interested in is for you if you don't actually go and volunteer? That's why most people like go to university and then they either drop out or they graduate and don't do what they went to school for. So yeah, because you never really tried to see like what a day-to-day life looked like in that job. So I couldn't volunteer in a coroner's office because I was 15. So the closest I could get to was a funeral home. So I was searching up on the internet for the closest funeral home and I found one. It was like 10 minutes away from me or 15 minutes. So I was gonna message, I think I was, yeah. So I was looking and I was gonna email or call them or something, but I don't know, I was scared. So I decided to just bring my resume and cover letter and show up. So I went there and I met the manager and then I asked him if he was like taking volunteers and stuff. And then he told me yes. And you know, he started like, you know, semi-interviewing me. This time, I've never worked a day in my life. So the whole interview process, all I had was like, you know, what's that class called? Civics and Careers in high school. All I had was that base knowledge of like what people kind of ask you in interviews. So he basically did that, and he was asking me like, why do I want to volunteer here? You know what I said? I said because I wanted to see dead bodies. Can you believe that? I told this man that because I wanted to see dead bodies. And I guess the way I was explaining at that age, it came off like kind of creepy. So he was just like, I don't know, he gave me like, I don't remember what he said, but it was kind of like a sus response that he gave me. It's like, is she crazy or something? He agreed to me actually volunteering there. Yes. I went back, told my family. The whole time my family didn't believe me, because like I said before, guys, I'm a scaredy cat. I'm running out my room all type of hours, going to my grandma's room, going to my cousin's room because I'm scared. I don't want to be in my room alone. So me telling them I'm actually going to be volunteering at a funeral home, they didn't believe me. A part of it, you had to wear a uniform, which was like, I think their color was like, I'll try to find a picture of me in that outfit. It was a dark blue, like navy blue uniform. So he told me to find like a suit similar to their colors. So I went and I found one, and I was so excited. Then I'm like, yo, they actually believe me. Now my family actually takes me seriously. So my aunt was fully supportive. I don't know, maybe she thought I wouldn't stay long, because guys, I can't express this enough. It's the biggest chicken ever. Like, me going to a funeral home with dead people and I don't even want to sleep in my room by myself. It was unreal. I went there, and my first day came there, oh, side note. So this time, yeah, I took the bus and I came off the bus and I was walking to the funeral home, and this guy, guys are, he's just there talking down my ears, talking. I'm just there like ignoring him, and he's there walking beside me, and boom, I turned left into the funeral home. Yo, he was gone. It was gone. I was dying. That was so funny. So I went in my first day. What did he make me do? I feel like I read some stuff. Yeah, I feel like he gave me paperwork to read. And then afterwards, in my head, I'm like, I want to see bodies. Like, I'm not saying it because of how I said it last time. And his reply, I'm like, okay, I don't want to freak him out even more. He already planned in his head that I'm not going downstairs because of like how I expressed myself. I didn't do a good job. So I'm like, okay, let me not say anything. So I did all the paperwork. Then he gave me my first task, which was to pledge, you know, like, or whatever it's called. I had to shine the coffins. So I go in the room with the coffins. So the first thing I did was take my hand, put it in the coffin, because I wanted to see, like, you assume this thing is gonna be soft. So as soon as he left, I put my hand in there, and I'm like, this is hard. It's not comfy, because you know when people are laying in a coffin, they look like they're just at peace, like it's soft and cushiony. I'm like, this ain't soft. So I went, I cleaned off all the coffins, and what was my next task? Then my next task was, I just sat beside him while he was doing like, and what was he doing? He was on calls. So I was just in the room with him, just there. And I think that's all I did on my first day. Yeah, so then my second day, they had to rearrange papers. So he like sent me in the basement. The basement! He sent me in the basement, guys, to like, I had to go like way back in the day looking at like papers from like 10-20 years ago. I don't know, but I had to do something. I had to organize them in some type of way. I don't remember how, but I was told to do that. So I started doing it, and I'm getting paranoid because it's kind of, the light's dim, right? I know the room over there with the bodies, they're right there, and I'm alone. I'm the only one down there. So I'm there trying to like, you know, relax, and I'm waiting for somebody to like come down there and keep my company. Ain't nobody keeping my company. So, you know, I tough it out. I didn't be a chicken because guys, I was this close to just running back upstairs. So close. But I stood it out. I think I was down there a few hours, and then I took a break, ate lunch, all of that, and so on. I don't remember how the next day went. Now, on my third day, he actually invited me into the room with the bodies. So I'm there, I'm like getting excited. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna see my first body. I'm getting excited. Like I wasn't even scared at this point. So I went there and someone else was down there. They were doing whatever. And I got my own little, you know, my little coat, and I got to write my name on it. And I was just standing there while they were doing their stuff. And you know what they did, guys? They left. I think he got a call and then the other person left. And I was the only one in that room. The only one. So I'm there like, I'm like, don't look. I'm like, don't look, don't look, don't look. This time the eyes like opened, right? I don't remember if it was a male or a female, but the deceased eyes opened, right? And I was like freaking out. I was so scared, but because I watched enough videos to know that I need to go and close it down. So I went and pushed it down, but it didn't close. So then after I just, and I held it, then it stayed. And I'm just there waiting, guys. I don't know if I was down there 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever it was, but it felt like a whole hour. But I know it's because I was like nervous. But they eventually came back and it just became easier. After that, I became like a pro. Everything was just easy. I actually got to like help with the whole embalming process. I got so good at it. Guys, I'm a fast learner. I don't care. I learned so quick. Like within the first couple weeks, like I learned real quick. Like everything, I learned it. So I'm proud of myself. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. And oh guys, in case you're wondering if I puked or anything like that, I've never done that. The most or the closest I got to puking or feeling like I need to puke was once they were going to pick up a body, right? And this person, I believe, committed suicide, like, you know, by jumping off a building. Yeah. So I heard that and I was told like, okay, you know what, don't go because sometimes it's, you know, it looks bad. So they don't want to traumatize me. I'm like, nah. I was there front seat. I'm like, let's go. So we went to the coroner's office and they went and they, you know, received the body. And this one, it was all covered. It was just like, you know, the tag at the bottom, like the feet. They used to identify, okay, it's this person. They're collecting the correct person. Me now take my false self, like I don't know who I thought I was. This is me. I went and I lifted up to look at the face. Guys, why did I do that to myself? Why? Yo, I wish I could unsee what I saw. Like it wasn't as bad, but at that time I was like, why did I do that? Like, why did I even bother? Like, guys, I was traumatized for a bit, but yeah, I think that's the closest. I didn't puke. I was just like that, and I'm like, okay, never doing that again. That's for sure. And yeah, like I got to do like the whole embalming process. I did like makeup and dressing. I got to do that. Yeah, I basically got to do everything within like the funeral home side. I didn't get to go to a coroner's office, but I kind of got the drift of everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable here. Like I know I'm able to work around bodies. So that was the whole goal for me, to see if this is something I can do, is to be around bodies. Oh guys, yo, let me share this part of it. Yeah, usually I leave and go home at like 4:30, but this time it was like 3:30, right? And they were going to pick up a body at a nursing home. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm coming, but you can't bring your phone, obviously. So I left my phone in the van and it was off. So I went up to the nursing home and that took like super long. I didn't know it was gonna take that long, but by the time we got the body there and I turned on my phone, guys, my family was blowing up my phone. I wasn't thinking to like tell them that, yo, I may be late or something. They were ready to call the police. When I came home, the driveway was filled. All my aunts were there. Everybody was freaking out. They're like, oh, they called and they said they're closed. Like, everybody was tripping. They're like, oh, I thought they put you in one of the coffins. Jamaicans. But guys, I basically disappeared and everybody was freaking out, thinking I don't even know, I got kidnapped, whatever. I don't know what they were thinking, but all I know, when I showed up, the driveway was filled with a whole bunch of cars, everybody freaking out. Oh, and the worst part is because I showed up with the van, you know, the van. So all the neighbors knew, because he had a sign on it, obviously, there's somebody in there. Everybody was just flossing. Everybody was flossing, and I came out in my suit and I went home, and yeah. And that never happened again. I told them if I'm going to be late or whatever, I started keeping them updated. I really like the experience. I'm just used to the typical Caribbean funeral, so I'm so happy I got to see like other cultures and how they do things. It was pretty cool. It was a good experience. So from that, I'm like, yes, I'm definitely gonna be a coroner. I can tolerate this. Boom, boom, boom. Then I started doing more research, and I'm like, wait, I mean, they're gonna be giving me the money. I'm gonna be more than satisfied with what I'm receiving, right? But guess what, guys? The hours and what they expect from you it's crazy. So I'm like, bruh, if I choose to be a coroner, I'm basically not gonna have a family, because at least not a healthy family. Like, I'm not gonna be able to like go to church like I want to do, like, you know, all these other things. I'm gonna be in my bed and I'm gonna have to go like all. I was just really sad, even though like that's my dream career to be a coroner. I made that choice literally grade 12, so this is way after grade 12, right? Like a few weeks before you had to select your courses. I made that decision that my entire life, what I've been planning for my entire life, I'm not going to do that anymore. All because I want to be able to do other things and have a family. And being a coroner, I would not be able to do those things because they require a lot of time and everything from you. I mean, I'll have the money, but you know, money isn't everything. So I was confused at that point, and I did what everybody else was doing. If you don't know what to do, go to nursing. I did that, didn't like it, boom, some other things. Then I found myself in forensics, and I love it because at least it's in the same area that, you know, I'm interested in, and I don't mind it because I do enjoy it. But even though my heart is at, you know, the autopsy table, I can't, because I want to have a family. I want to do other things. I want to live a life that's not just working. So that's what happened regarding like the whole me volunteering at a funeral home. Oh, and from that, guys, yo, volunteering is so important. Not because you're not getting paid, it's important. You know how much connections, how much doors that volunteering at that young age did for me? Bruh. To this day, I know even after I'm done school, I have an option here, I have an option there, I have an option here, here, all of that. All because I volunteered. I met so many people, not only like within that field, you meet a lot of people. So I don't know why y'all think everything you do you need to get paid for, especially at a young age. What do you have to do? Like, I mean, right now, I don't know how old you guys are, but if you're under the age of 18, you should be putting in a whole bunch of volunteer hours. Like, there's no excuses. What's your excuse? If you're older, encourage your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever, to volunteer, because it's really important. Networking is number one. Like, what beats networking in trying to get your career? So because I did that, a whole lot of doors were open to me. Not to say like I'm gonna use all those things. Certain things are like on the, you know, the back shelf, just in case, like plan A, plan B. And I'm that type of person. I'll be making a whole bunch of plans. I'm like, okay, this doesn't work out, at least I have this, at least I have that. So that was me. And even from volunteering at the funeral home, the manager, he still invited me to, like, when they have I guess conferences, I don't know, like meetings to like speak about my experience. So that one thing, that one summer when I was 15, I took, instead of just being home and doing nothing because I couldn't work then and I wasn't even allowed to, I took that to volunteer, be productive, and that opened the door to so many other opportunities. But yeah, overall, working at the funeral home taught me that I am able to be around dead bodies without panicking. Even after I volunteered at the funeral home, I was still scared. Like, I was still scared to see by myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding this, or if you're interested in that area, I believe I know a lot, because trust me, I was addicted. Like, that was my passion, and I needed to know everything. I was obsessed. So if you have any questions regarding that area, I will most likely know. So feel free to contact me. If you guys have any video suggestions, comment below as well. Maybe I should start doing more story times. I really just don't know what to share. Like, my comfort level, I'm gonna try to be more open. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.